The 2025 IPL season will be etched in the annals of cricket history, remembered not just for the dazzling sixes and nail-biting finishes, but for a phenomenon that defied expectations. It was a season where one team, against all odds, transformed the very definition of home advantage. That team was Royal Challengers Bangalore, and their story was one of an unstoppable force on the road. They turned away games into their own personal playground. RCB, long known for their passionate home crowd at the iconic Chinnaswamy Stadium, a sea of red and gold, unexpectedly became a juggernaut in hostile territory, silencing critics and captivating fans with their sheer dominance. They were racking up win after win away from home, defying the conventional wisdom that home ground advantage is paramount in cricket. This wasn't luck. It wasn't a fluke or a series of fortunate coincidences. It was the result of meticulous planning, countless hours of strategizing, and a deep understanding of their opponent's weaknesses. It was fearless cricket, a brand of aggressive play that put pressure on the opposition from ball one. And it was a squad that finally clicked, a group of individuals who came together as a cohesive unit, playing for each other and for the badge. Fans, whether they were braving the crowds in the stands, painting the away stadiums with RCB colors, or glued to their screens at home, watched in awe as RCB rewrote their story, transforming from perennial underdogs to a dominant force. They were conquering 6 different venues, each with its unique challenges, before arriving in Lucknow. Playing away means navigating unfamiliar pitches, adapting to varying bounce and turn, enduring hostile crowds, the constant barrage of noise and taunts from passionate home supporters, and the constant travel, the relentless cycle of flights, bus rides, and hotel check-ins. Yet RCB thrived, defying the odds and turning these challenges into opportunities. They were turning adversity into fuel, using the pressure and the negativity to drive them forward. Captain Virat Kohli, in a post-match interview, spoke of their us-against-the-world mentality, a powerful mindset that united the team, forging an unbreakable bond between the players. Youngsters stepped up, seizing their opportunities and showcasing their talent on the big stage, while the seniors led with experience and composure, guiding the team through pressure situations. And the coaching staff, led by their astute head coach, ensured every player knew their role, maximizing their potential and creating a well-oiled machine. Pundits and fans alike tried to decode the secret to RCB's success, dissecting every aspect of their game, the aggressive batting that set the tone, the disciplined bowling that choked the opposition, the electric fielding that saved crucial runs, and above all, the unbreakable team spirit that bound them together, making them a force to be reckoned with. As they prepared to face the Lucknow Super Giants in their own den, the question wasn't if RCB could win away. That had become almost a certainty. It was how spectacularly they'd do it this time, what new records they would break, and what unforgettable moments they would create. LSG at home was undoubtedly a tough hurdle, a formidable challenge against a team desperate to protect their home turf. But for this RCB, hurdles were just opportunities in disguise, chances to prove their mettle and further solidify their dominance. The stage was set, the atmosphere electric, for another unforgettable chapter in their already legendary away saga. Ikana Stadium in Lucknow isn't just a cricket ground, it's a fortress, a daunting arena for any visiting team. The sheer size of the stadium and the energy it holds can be overwhelming. A sea of raucous fans, a vocal and passionate home crowd, creates an intimidating atmosphere. Their cheers and chants echo through the stands, adding immense pressure on the opposition. Add to that the notoriously tricky conditions of the pitch itself. The unpredictable bounce and slow turn can challenge even the most experienced batsmen and bowlers. And then there's the home team, Lucknow Super Giants, a side that rarely loses on its own turf. They know these conditions inside and out, giving them a significant advantage. LSG were in top form, their players honed and ready. Their recent performances spoke volumes about their confidence and skill. Eyeing a top 2 finish, with the coveted double chance in the playoffs, just like RCB, both teams had everything to play for. The stakes couldn't be higher, making this clash feel less like a regular season game and more like a pre-playoff eliminator, a do-or-die situation for both sides. The intensity was palpable. RCB's preparation was intense, leaving no stone unturned. They knew the challenge that awaited them and were determined to meet it head-on. Strategic meetings were held, game plans were meticulously crafted, and every possible scenario was analyzed. The focus was on adapting quickly to the conditions, understanding the nuances of the pitch, and executing their skills under pressure. And a clear understanding of the stakes, the importance of this game, was etched on every player's face. A seventh straightaway win would not only secure a playoff berth, but would all but guarantee a coveted qualifier one spot, giving them a significant advantage in the knockout stages. The stadium buzzed with anticipation, a cauldron of noise and excitement. As Lucknow fans packed the stands, a sea of blue and gold ready to intimidate the visitors and roar their team to victory. RCB, now used to thriving in hostile environments, having turned away games into their favor, tuned out the noise, the jeers, and the pressure, and focused solely on their game, their strategy, and their execution. The toss was crucial, a pivotal moment that could set the tone for the entire match. LSG won and chose to bat, a decision that reflected their confidence in their batting lineup and their ability to set a challenging target. Aiming to post a huge total, a score that would put immense pressure on the RCB batsmen and test their chasing abilities, and defend it under lights, utilizing their strong bowling attack to exploit the conditions and stifle the RCB chase. For RCB, it meant another chase, a familiar scenario for a team that has often found itself batting second, something they'd mastered on the road, turning pressure situations into memorable victories with their explosive batting. But the scale of the challenge was about to rise. The intensity was about to be cranked up a notch. Two informed teams, both boasting strong squads and a hunger for victory. A packed house, a sea of faces, all eyes glued to the action. And everything on the line. Playoff spots, top two finishes, bragging rights. The perfect recipe for a classic, a match that would be talked about for years to come. The battle was set to begin, the stage was set, and the players were ready to give it their all. LSG's openers exploded out of the blocks, punishing RCB's bowlers and electrifying the home crowd. KL Rahul anchored the innings, while Stoinis and Puran unleashed a barrage of boundaries, pushing the score ever higher. Every RCB plan was countered with even more aggression from LSG's batsmen. By the end, Lucknow had piled up a mammoth 227 for 3. A daunting total in any T20, let alone an away game. The stadium erupted, convinced the match was theirs. For RCB, the task was monumental. Chase 228, away from home, to keep their streak alive. The dressing room was tense but focused, breaking down the chase and reminding themselves of past miracles. The message was clear. One big partnership, one special innings, could turn the impossible into reality. The challenge was immense, but RCB's spirit was unbroken. They were ready to fight. The stadium was a cauldron of noise as Kohli and du Plessis strode out to the middle, ready to begin the daunting chase. A deafening roar greeted them, a wave of sound that seemed to physically shake the ground. The hopes of millions rested on their shoulders. The scoreboard glared, displaying the imposing target. 228 runs required. A daunting task that demanded a run rate of over 11 runs and over. It was a chase that required both aggression and calculated risk. FAF started brightly, unleashing a flurry of aggressive shots. He was determined to set the tone, smashing boundaries and putting the pressure back on the Lucknow bowlers. But LSG's bowlers, buoyed by the huge total they had put on the board, struck early, a crucial breakthrough that silenced the crowd, if only for a moment. Du Plessis fell to a sharp catch in the deep, a stunning grab that sent shockwaves through the RCB faithful. The momentum began to shift. The pressure mounted as Kohli tried to anchor the innings, attempting to steady the ship and rebuild after the early loss. The weight of expectation was palpable, but the required rate kept climbing, an ominous sign that threatened to derail the chase completely. Every ball became a pressure cooker situation. Every run was cheered with fervent enthusiasm, a desperate plea for momentum to swing back in RCB's favor. The crowd willed their team forward. Conversely, every dot ball met with thunderous applause from the home fans, a collective expression of relief and growing confidence. The tension was almost unbearable. RCB ended the power play behind the rate and a wicket down, staring at a mountain that seemed to grow taller with each passing over. The situation was critical. The Lucknow spinners tightened the screws, expertly exploiting the conditions and applying relentless pressure. They bowled with precision and guile, making boundaries hard to come by and strangling the RCB scoring rate. The tension was palpable. You could cut it with a knife. The hopes of the RCB faithful hung precariously in the balance. RCB needed a hero to step up and change the game, someone to break the shackles and inject some much-needed momentum into the innings. The middle overs loomed large, a critical phase that would likely determine the outcome of the match, and the chase teetered precariously on a knife's edge, finely balanced between hope and despair. The next few overs would be crucial. Kohli's determination was clear for all to see, etched on his face as he battled to keep the innings alive. But the task was growing ever more daunting, the required run rate spiraling upwards with each passing over. The pressure was immense. The crowd sensed victory drawing near, their anticipation building with every dot ball and every wicket taken. But RCB's story was far from over. They were known for their fighting spirit and their ability to pull off the impossible. Someone needed to rise to the occasion, to play the innings of their life and turn the tide back in RCB's favor. The stage was set for a hero. Enter Jitesh Sharma, the unheralded finisher thrust into a rescue mission. With the required rate soaring and wickets falling, most thought the chase was over. But Jitesh, calm and fearless, had other ideas. He attacked from ball one, mixing classic shots with audacious innovation, rattling LSG's bowlers. His quick hands and clean hitting found boundaries where none seemed possible. Jitesh's arrival reignited hope. His counterattack was smart, targeting specific bowlers and exploiting gaps. The RCB dugout came alive as he raced to a brisk score, shifting the momentum. LSG's captain scrambled to adjust, but Jitesh kept finding ways to score. He wasn't just surviving. He was taking the game away from Lucknow. The unsung hero was now the center of the story. In high-pressure chases, partnerships are everything. Jitesh found support in Glenn Maxwell, who rotated strike and found boundaries, easing the burden. Their stand rattled LSG as the required rate began to look less daunting. After Maxwell's exit, Dinesh Karthik joined Jitesh, using his experience to keep the scoreboard ticking and ensure Jitesh faced most deliveries. LSG searched desperately for a breakthrough, but the pair stood firm. Jitesh's aggression, complemented by his partner's composure, kept RCB in the hunt. The crowd grew quieter as the impossible started to look possible. RCB's chase was alive, built on smart batting and unwavering belief. As the chase reached its climax, Jitesh Sharma entered a rarefied zone. Timing, placement, and anticipation all in perfect sync. LSG's bowlers, once confident, now looked lost as Jitesh dismantled their plans. He brought up a rapid half-century, but his eyes stayed on the target. The equation tightened, a handful of runs needed from the final over with Jitesh on strike. He finished it in style. A powerful boundary sealed the win. RCB had chased 228, their highest ever, and one of the greatest in IPL history. The dugout erupted, players flooding the field to celebrate with their hero. This was more than a win. It was a statement of belief, resilience, and brilliance. Jitesh's unbeaten 85 would be remembered for years. RCB's seventh straightaway win set a new IPL record. They had rewritten what was possible in T20 cricket. This was a chase for the ages. The celebrations said it all. RCB's record-breaking win was a turning point. Players and fans reveled in the moment, knowing this was more than just 2 points. The victory catapulted RCB to second place in the league, securing a direct shot at Qualifier 1. It was a remarkable turnaround for a team once plagued by inconsistency. Jitesh Sharma's heroics not only won the match, but boosted their net run rate, sealing their playoff advantage. The dressing room buzzed with confidence. RCB had earned 2 chances at the final. The elusive IPL trophy felt closer than ever, powered by belief and momentum. The journey was far from over, but this win would be remembered for a long time. With second place secured, RCB's focus shifted to Qualifier 1 against table-toppers Punjab Kings. The stakes were massive. A win meant a direct ticket to the final, a loss still offered a second chance. RCB's momentum was sky-high after their historic chase, but Punjab posed a formidable challenge. The subplot, Jitesh Sharma, RCB's new hero, facing his former team, adding extra spice to the contest. The squad was united, playing with freedom and belief, ready to seize their moment. Their away streak had given them confidence and a sense of destiny. The path to glory was clear, one more step, and the final awaited. RCB were ready to write the next chapter in their quest for the IPL trophy.